Let's play!
So there's another Toy Story coming out in summer 2026.
I mean, we didn't need Toy Story 4, and I don't think we need this.
Why didn't we need Toy Story 4? You didn't like Toy Story 4?
No, man.
You didn't enjoy Toy Story 4?
Hot take. I just think it's average. Though I don't even know if that's a hot take at this point.
No, a lot of people agree.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I enjoyed Toy Story 4 in the cinema. I've rewatched it a few times. I thought it was pretty good. That's all I have to say about Toy Story 4. I don't think that it's the devil that people were making out.
I don't think it's the devil, but it's just like I don't feel anything when I think about it.
But listen, right?
I feel nothing.
Toy Story 3 came out in 2010, right? 2010, sorry. How old were you then in 2020?
2010, 9.
You were 9,
9
right?
years old, yeah.
Then 2019, so you were 18 when Toy Story 4
that's
came
right.
out,
Yeah, yeah.
So you weren't a kid anymore. Maybe it was just because we're not kids anymore.
It's not that though, man. I mean, for God's sake, even like Resident Devil Tarantino knows that's like the greatest trilogy. It's like it's his favorite film.
In the case of Toy Story, the third one is just magnificent. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen. And if you've seen the other two, then it's devastating.
Is it a cartoon?
Yeah, well, it's a cartoon. But the thing is, then 3 years later or something, they did a fourth, and I have no desire to see it.
Right.
You literally ended the story as perfect as you could.
Right.
So no, I don't care if it's good. I'm done.
Yeah, it's a fucking amazing trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't think that Toy Story 4 was like, oh, Toy Story 1, 2, 3, then 4 is terrible or anything like that. I just felt like it was just, look, the story was capped at number 3. We didn't need any more. And then a fourth one came along, but I still feel like it pulled it off. I still feel like it had an interesting ending, an interesting development with the characters. It just wasn't fucking needed, which is fair enough. But I'm trying to look at this more in the context of the fact that, look, we're grown up now. We need to look at this from the perspective of a kid, okay? Imagine a 9-year-old watching Toy Story 4 or Toy Story 5. They might feel the same kind of joy that we did when we watched Toy Story 1 and 2.
That is true. Think about the next generation. This will be their toy. Literally, it is Toy Story, but it'll be their Toy Story. It'll be their introduction to animation.
Yeah.
It'll be like their childhood. But then the problem is the other ones are right there, and we spoke about this at length on the podcast before. But Pixar used to, and look, I'm not saying there isn't effort in anymore. I'm sure there are very talented artists, writers, concept, blah, blah, blah. But I think the problem is, like, I feel like the heart is missing from a lot of their films. Like, in the early days, that heart felt, like, intrinsically linked to the story they were telling. You felt that everyone who worked on those films, they really felt like they had something to say. Not just for kids, for adults as well. And that's the best kind of, children's media that can appeal to everyone when it's truly made for everyone. But I think the problem is now, and this is also probably a result of COVID affecting things, the way, kids consume media and how everyone does, blah, blah, blah. I feel like now the emotion that's present within a Pixar film is almost like it's like part of a checklist, and it doesn't feel as sincere anymore. Yeah. And even though Toy Story 4, yes, it was not the worst thing in the world, and I'm sure they really put their hearts and souls into it. Yeah. But a lot of it felt hollow. It felt really hollow to me, and I worry. I mean, look, this is only a 50-second teaser, but right now I feel, obviously we haven't seen the whole film. I feel nothing, and any emotional beat is going to be like, okay, this is going to make the kids cry. This is going to make you sob. Yeah. Whereas in the other films, like the ending of Toy Story 3, I mean, for God's sake, that probably got Tarantino to cry. That was warranted because we saw, we've lived with these toys for over, I think maybe even at that point 10, 15 years, and then Andy had lived with those toys, and you watched him in a way. Like right now, we haven't spent as much time with Bonnie. Yeah. And what's the plot of this one? It's them versus AI.
I don't know.
The toys discover an iPad. It just...
Oh, yeah. No, I quite like that, though.
It could be interesting. Look, I'm not writing it off straight away. I could be completely wrong. In a year's time, I might be like, oh, wow.
You know what? I already figured out the plot of this movie. Yeah. She's going to be focused on her iPad, because that's what all kids are doing now, right?
And going to forget about the toys.
She's going to forget about the toys, and then the iPad, then the toys are going to save her or something, and then she'll realize that the toys.
iPad's evil.
Yeah. No, but the iPad can't give her what the toys.
Yeah.
Which I actually think, if that is the story, and if it's not a story, then it shouldn't be. It's actually a very meaningful message for kids these days.
Oh, hopefully. I mean, look, maybe this is them getting their creative spark back.
Yeah.
Not write it off straight away. It's just like, the way Pixar's been going in the past. It's just, you become a bit cynical about it.
I don't give a shit about Bonnie, though. And also, I mean, come on, let's just say, like, fucking Toy Story 3 is one of the best films ever made.
Oh, my God.
I sincerely think that. I mean, look, it's a prison break movie. It's a thriller. It's a really fun. It's genuinely funny. And
genuinely emotional.
It's genuinely emotional. It's kind of scary as well.
Yeah.
It's got so many great elements that whoever wrote that movie was brilliant.
No, well, again, it is the guy who wrote Little Miss Sunshine.
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that explains it.
Well, let's see who the hell wrote this one then. Maybe it's the same guy. Is Andrew Stanton?
Okay, which is good because he's like one of like the OGs from Pixar.
Okay, great.
So
and Andrew Stanton wrote it.
Okay, all right. Okay, he wrote. Okay, that fills me with some hope.
What did Andrew Stanton do?
Wall-E, Finding Nemo.
Oh, nice.
Okay, no, actually, seeing that he's involved, I am actually a little more hopeful now.
Who did Toy Story 4?
I'm not sure who wrote it, but mind you, look,
Andrew Stanton and Stephanie Folsom. Yeah,
but I think the fact this is just Andrew Stanton on his own because he's been involved through Pixar for like so long.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and actually I feel like, with what you just described, that is the way that it's going. That's probably quite meaningful, and I'm sure that's probably come out of a lot of like introspection during COVID. So maybe it will be all right. Maybe I have some hope.
Yeah,
Still,
but there are certain things.
Yeah. Still don't need it, but if
you don't need it.
Yeah,
there are certain things that people don't fuck with, right? And even though, of course, Toy Story, it's a no-brainer to do another Toy Stories because there's a shitload of money.
The
right?
money, yeah.
I still think they always are going to think like, right, this is Toy Story now. We can't fuck around with this. We have to take this seriously. We have to write something worth it here. We have to justify it. And whatever you'll say about Toy Story 4, okay, maybe it seemed a little bit more formulaic. Maybe you could see where it was heading before it was coming. But maybe that's just because we're adults and we're more intelligent and we can see
we notice these things. We consume so much like media.
We look into film. We're so familiar with these concepts. When we're a kid, we don't think, oh yeah, I know what's going to happen in the third act here. I know how it's just we don't think like that anymore. We aren't the major demographic anymore. It's kids. We're not the target market. Yes, of course they're designed for adults. And I'm looking forward to seeing it in the cinema. I'm one of those rare people that actually I'm all for it, really. Toy Story 5. Yes, I do think
I'm open to giving it a chance. I'm not going to write it off.
You can't have a go. You can't have a go at a franchise that for just being so good at capping off one of the movies. For the movie to just rounding up the story so well. When the next installments are still pretty decent, and just look at the CGI, man. Look, I mean, that's interesting.
The animation in that teaser, God, it's unbelievable how far they've
even
come.
Toy Story 4, they compare the CGI of the cat and
that was only, what is that, like 5-6 years ago? Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Although I will say that, okay, this is something that's a little bit contradictory. I will say, even though the cinematography was fantastic, it felt a little bit too cinematic for Toy Story. Got like these black bars with all like these intense anamorphic looking shots, like even like the split diopter shots and stuff. You tell they're trying to be really, really visually
very
compelling.
artsy.
Yeah, very artsy.
Yeah.
Where sometimes it felt a little bit like, okay, you're doing too much, right? We love Toy Story because it's simple. Yeah. We love the characters.
For the writing.
Yeah, and the character designs, okay? Yeah. Keep it simple. You can, the CGI can be better, but it doesn't have to be like this fucking really cinematic movie, you know what I mean? So, but obviously they're trying to impress people, say, look at how far
it is Toy Story, it's like the animated franchise. It's,
I understand that choice of going in that direction. But and I think that's another thing. Kids just aren't as enchanted with movies these days as well because they're so easy. It's on the TV. They probably have their own TV in their bedroom that has Disney Plus on it, right? And they can just watch whatever they want.
Oh, why would I go to the cinema to watch Toy Story 5? We can watch it at home.
It used to be so fun, when you had like the physical media, the DVDs, you'd open it up.
Oh man, I still buy Blu-rays. I think we've got to keep buying Blu-rays. There's something about physical media, holding it in your hand.
Yeah,
the menus. Nothing beats it, honestly.